terrible. So you know how you come into a place and you don't know anybody, and you're kind of nervous, and you really want to make a good impression. So we were in Longmont, Colorado, where we live, and my wife was nowhere to be found. So I went in and grabbed a suit, and I threw it in the bag, and she packed it for me. And I put that suit on this morning, and it came from this skinny suit file. And so it would only, I had like 6 inches. There was no way of changing that around. So I'm standing in the mirror, and I go, well, I better button this coat. So if you're wondering why I look like I'm wearing 10 pounds of cap in a 5-pound bag, so am I. So just letting you know. But that's just the kind of the way I roll. What you see is what you get, and you haven't seen anything yet. And I'm glad you're here. You're wondering probably what the heck we're doing. We had a company called Contact Mapping that was all about relationships and stickiness and teaching people how to be authentic, great, vulnerable human beings in the whole shot. But we knew that there was something out there on the other side of that called the world of AI, the world of connection, the world of Nowsite. And we went out and started looking around to see who the absolute state-of-the-art was. And we ran across you people, and we became monomaniacally obsessed with getting into the club and hanging with you, and here we are. That's awesome thing. So I came to town. There's a guy. So I came to town, and he was doing a podcast, and so I said, we're going to be in town. He said, come by and do the podcast with me. And I said, fine. Can I bring by Justin Bellabova and Adrian? And he said, yeah, I'll have like 20 minutes. And we said, that'll be great, man. Just give us 20 minutes of your time. And that was pretty honey, come up here for a second. I want you. Yeah, no. Cheryl Coco. No, my wife, Denise. So anyway, so we went over to Eric's house, man, and it was just unbelievable. I did the podcast. That went about an hour and a half. And then Justin and this guy started talking. And Justin and this woman started talking. And about 5 hours later, we had to get to the party. But the party wasn't over yet, man. We got a text during the party saying, can we get together tomorrow morning? Because the same thing happened to them that happened to us. And these people, you have no idea who they are and how high they are in the network marketing world. They're the very top. I'll never forget the day. There was a little tiny event about the size of this thing called GoPro many years ago. And it started to grow, and it started to grow, and it started to grow. And I'll never forget the day we got the email, and it said, you have reached the top. You have reached the pinnacle. You are the greatest thing since sliced bread. We want you to speak at GoPro. You are that awesome. So I walked in there, and I puffed up my chest in probably these pants that fit. And I started reading it to my wife because it was so awesome. And it said, Tom, would you please tell Denise we want her to speak at GoPro? And she went on to speak at GoPro. I went on to speak at GoPro.
The most powerful woman in the world.
Yeah, 120,000 women one time. These people are unbelievable. And to get them to come to events costs a lot of money. Can you imagine how much money it costs to get Eric and Marina Worre to come to a meeting? Guess who's here? Whoa! Come on up. Eric and Marina are in the building. Is this the craziest thing ever? This does not happen. They have got the most state-of-the-art, the top video production studio in the world here in Las Vegas, Nevada. They have got the largest organization, network marketing pro on the planet. These two are leading the world, and they came here. Look at that. Unbelievable. Can you believe they're here? They're leaving here to go interview Ray Higdon. You guys are among the royalty, and they wanted to meet you.
So now what do you want us to do? Hi, everybody. How you doing? These guys were bragging that you guys came from all over the world. Is that right? How many people came from more than 1,000 miles away? Show of hands. A lot of people. Wow. Wow. So I've got a couple thoughts, and then I will let Marina give a couple thoughts. We literally just decided to pop over. We had meetings all this morning, and Ray Hayden's sitting in my house by himself now. So I had somebody else pick him up at the airport and get him some lunch, and I told him we'll be over when we're done. So don't share that with him, but no, he understands. I want to give you a couple thoughts when it comes to the project you guys are working on and kind of the view that I have from 50,000 feet. You know, I see all the companies, I see what's going on, and network marketing is going through a lot of change. And in terms of technology, services, ways to be able to grow a business, the pandemic for many caused a spike of growth. And at least the companies that were already a little bit online, those that were just purely face-to-face, they had to go through some transition. But coming out of the pandemic, there was an unintended consequence, and that unintended consequence was quite a bit of weakness. People used to be a little bit tougher, and now they're a little bit more weaker. As a general rule, you've experienced it, I'm sure, coming out of that pandemic, getting people to get into action, etc. So every time that a technology comes along, there are opportunities. There's people who can get in front of it, people who can wait till later, people who get involved after the fact. I think there's advantages to being able to come in and learn in the early stages of technology in order to be able to maximize. A lot of people kind of look down their nose at social media. Some of you have been around long enough to remember that. When social media came into the network marketing space, everybody's like, oh, this is so nonsense. Today, most of connection, prospecting, presentation is happening through, and ongoing relationship, training, everything else is happening through social media. The advancements of technology, the advancements of artificial intelligence, the ability for people to get slightly more sophisticated, but sophistication is tough in our business. If you add any sophistication to your process, you usually lose duplication. So in order to have sophistication, you have to package it in a way that the average person can do, which is not easy to do. You know, it would be great if everybody had their own website, but tell that to your team. They're like, I'm out. You know, I've learned something, especially reinforced over the last couple of years, and that is there's kind of two categories of people inside of network marketing. Or maybe I'll give you three categories. Category one is a new person or a person that's involved and has very little success so far. Somebody who's either in the launch process or the relaunch process. They're trying to get it figured out. And I've been stunned because I've worked very closely with a couple kind of high-ticket groups over the course of the last year in a coaching environment. And they get overwhelmed radically fast. Any tiny little thing, and they're overwhelmed. They shut down. They get paralyzed. It's crazy. So actually, that first phase, this launch phase or relaunch phase, is mostly characterized by turn your brain off, follow instructions. Just breathe. We got you. We have a proven plan. And all you need to think about is do this next thing. Okay? And the purpose of that whole process is to help a person get into the top 2%. You know what it takes as far as recruits to get into the top 2% in network marketing? 10 recruits. That's it. And you're in the top 2%. So the purpose of that is get them into that top 2%, that launch strategy, simple, paint by numbers, follow the bouncing ball, do A, do B, do C, simple assignments, reinforcement, positive reinforcement, lots of encouragement, lots of validation, lots of reassurance, it's going to be okay through this process, even if they were wildly successful in something else. So that's phase one. Phase two is a person decides to become a network marketing professional. They decide to be a skill-based person, helping people, guiding them through phase one. These are the people over here. Phase one, if you tell them that they got to develop a whole bunch of skills, you're going to lose them. Phase two is when they develop the skills. Mindset, strategy, skills, systems, all that stuff that are necessary to become a pro. And the pros drive these connectors with their knowledge and skill. The connectors are connecting their prospects to those professionals and to other resources, virtual and otherwise. And then the third kind of group is the super elite that are building other pros, building other leaders. They're creating duplication at scale. So in coming up with, when you're having conversations with these guys the last couple of days, we had great conversations. It's kind of fun to talk about what's possible today because we read the news and we see what's possible. But then there's another conversation, what's practical. You know, yes, I've heard that can be done, but can you do it now? And can group number one actually do it? That's the real test. So fascinating conversations with all of that because solving that problem helps all three tiers. Okay? In addition to social, in addition to face-to-face, in addition to developing skills, in addition to being a better leader, in addition to all of those things. So I found that fascinating. I found it interesting. I find it intriguing, and we're having conversations to see how we can help in order to be able to kind of move this forward faster than it would have been moved forward. Ultimately, your job in the network marketing space as a leader, your ultimate job is to get people involved in the organization to do a little bit more than they would have done without you. You want to provide them with tools to do a little bit more than they would have done without you. And that little bit more does an important thing. It causes people to stay closer to the fire for a little bit longer, so you have a better opportunity for the penny to drop and them to go, oh, I get it now. All right, I'm going to do this. You know that's happened with people in your organization. You kept them around long enough, some happened, kept them around long enough, and eventually the penny dropped, and they said, all right, I'm going to do this. So if you have technology, tools, anything that you can do to move a person over the line where it's easier to stay in the business than it is to quit, because the natural state of things is it's easier to quit than it is to stay. So our job is to move people over that line, keep them over that line, use all of our leadership skills, use technology, use our vision, the culture that we build, all of those different things in order to be able to make that happen. So it's an exciting time to be alive. I think the organizations that embrace change, lean into it, get a little bit in front of it, are going to have a radical advantage over people who wait. Because let's say a year from now, you guys are all cranking, you're all crushing it in every direction, and somebody else says, oh, I'm going to start today. By the time they get to where you are, you're going to be in a completely different place. You know what I mean? You have such a huge advantage of time and what they call first mover advantages, being able to kind of maximize technology before it becomes mainstream to everybody else. When it's obscure now, talked about, but obscure before it becomes popularized a little bit later. So it's a great opportunity, and I just wanted to, I had no agenda today other than just come over and say hello. And Marina, you can give me your thoughts.
I want to ask you guys a question, and if possible, I would like to get an honest answer. How many of you think that network marketing is hard? Come on, be honest. was easier.
Yeah.
So here's one of those things is sometimes we think we wish things, and that's actually one of those things that if we really think about it, because the reason why the company is paying you so much money is because it's hard. Because we need to help people to understand what we have to offer. Because sometimes we need to explain our products and services, and it comes like, how many of us drive on the road and see a bunch of billboards and ads, and we just kind of like ignore it, and just like a white noise, and nobody pays attention to it. But when somebody in our family or friends groups or in our network says like, yeah, you have to take a look at this, you need to go to this restaurant, you need to read this book, you need to go to that gym, or whatever it might be, we pay more attention to that. So network marketing is complicated, and the reasons why the companies are paying you so much money, because we need that human touch, we need that connection, we need that relationship that people can relate to and get into that understanding. So sometimes don't wish for things to be easier, wish for us to be better problem solvers and help people to see the bigger vision. But I think the bigger concept here is we all come into, or majority of the people come into network marketing thinking with, or coming with a lighter mentality. You know, I was like, I heard that you said, or somebody said, it's going to be easy, probably a product sells themselves, and tomorrow you're going to be rich, and you don't have to do anything. I'm as a sponsor, I'll do everything for you. How many of you signed up with that promise, right? A lot of people. But with that kind of a promise, we're not necessarily attracting professionals. We're attracting people who are trying to get something for nothing, who are not necessarily coming with the mentality of building a business, with the mentality of developing themselves, with the mentality of becoming professionals. And that's once we realize that, because when Eric kind of like made that comment to me, it just immediately fell into place, and I was like, okay, so a lot of people coming into network marketing with the employee mentality. And because we're used to, since we were little, we were told what to do. Since the kindergarten, since we were growing up, we were told, eat your vegetables, do your homework, make your bed, don't hit your sister, do all those different things. Then you go into school, like if you don't study for the exams, you're not going to get good grades. And then we go to college, and then we go to the workforce. The same thing happens there, like do your task, show up at 9, leave at 5 or 6, do this, do that, don't take too long vacation, or don't be late, things like that. So we are programmed in such a way that once we come into business opportunity, we don't think as entrepreneurs, we don't think as business owners. We think as like, okay, tell me what to do, and if you're not standing as an employer with the whip in front of your distributor, they're not doing much, right, if we're honest. So understanding that concept and explaining to our people that we're bringing into this business, the concept that they're becoming the business owner. They're becoming in business not by themselves, but for themselves. They have the support of the company, they have the support of the team, they have the guidance of their sponsor and leaders, but at the same time, they still have to do the work. And our job is to help them to become independent as quickly as possible, but also understand that they have to put in the work. They have to work on their mindset, they have to work on their skill set, they have to work on their professionalism. So I think once we make that big distinction, at least that helped me tremendously once I realized it's not about things getting easier, it's about me becoming better, me understanding what I'm signing up for, and helping people that I'm bringing into the profession, into my business, helping them to see the potential, but also understand it's gonna take some time. Everything of substance takes time. We cannot build an empire on a sandy foundation. We have to build a solid foundation first, and it starts with us. It starts with us understanding what are we doing here, what kind of an opportunity we have, we getting better and becoming more strong, much stronger leader. We can open people's minds and eyes and help them see the vision for themselves, but also giving them the tools and strategies necessary. So kind of like one of the things that sometimes it excites me because it's an opportunity, but also kind of like boggles my mind is like when people come into network marketing and think that we're growing magic beans here, and tomorrow they're not becoming rich, they're immediately running away and saying network marketing doesn't work. It's so confusing to me. I was like, wait a minute, did you work in network marketing before you said that network marketing doesn't work? And having the professional tools necessary, having the opportunity to do it right, and build it as a solid business on a solid foundation, that's the huge opportunity that we'll have. And with our professional tools that that these guys are offering, I think it's going to get much easier to explain and give those that understanding and level of professionalism necessary to take our beautiful profession of network marketing to the next level.
Go ahead. Everything?
No, here's the deal. So he was a rep, and he realized that there was room for somebody to take over network marketing, and he saw it, recognized it early, and did it. Then she, in COVID, realized that the world needed to stay home, and in 70 days, she built that $20 million state-of-the-art facility where everybody is in awe. She built it. And here we are, because they recognized good early. And here they are, recognizing good early. And here we go. That's what's happening. And you people have a chance to be the leading edge. And I don't know if you noticed his wristwatch. It costs more than your house. They bought a Gulfstream jet. Bono is renting it every day to fly between LA and Las Vegas for that big deal he's doing, because these people saw a need and filled it, and that's exactly what all of you are doing. Give Eric and Marina a huge round of applause.
Thanks, y'all. We got to get back to the house before Ray eats all our food.
Was that a good surprise? I think that was a pretty good surprise. So make sure, hit that share button. We're going to bring our keynote speaker, Lauren Lahav, up on stage here shortly. So if I'm feeling generous, maybe we'll give you a little behind the scenes on that one too. Great to see all of you. I love seeing all the comments. Make sure you share this, and we're having a great time. We miss you. We wish you were here, and we're glad to get to bring you into it with us. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.